everybody. I'm Helping Hands, a content creator loves covering strategy games. I'm here joined with Wayward Strategist, and I'm going to ask him a couple of questions today on Tempest Rising. So here's the question number one. The game is heavily inspired by Command & Conquer. How are you going to stand out and not be seen by some who would say it's a clone?
So that's a great question. When I first was brought into the project, Fred, the game director and CEO of 3D Realms, he and I bonded over a mutual appreciation for Command & Conquer, but I've never wanted to create a game that is just an exact derivative of something that already exists. You'll notice, obviously, from the footage that we've already shown, that we kind of wear our inspirations on our sleeves a lot. And we did target the original reveal to kind of lean into our inspirations and our roots in classic real-time strategy games like Command & Conquer, Warcraft, and StarCraft. Over the next couple of months, I'm really excited to be able to show off some of the unique things that we're doing with our factions. One thing that we haven't had a chance to show off yet is each faction has a unique resource system that's unique to itself that we're using to help differentiate them from each other. So for instance, the GDF have a resource called Intel that they collect through combat and they spend on unit abilities and units. Now, of course, this is all subject to change. We're still in the middle of all this. But we think that that's going to give the GDF a pretty unique character, that they're going to have to go out there and combat their enemy to be able to generate intel to be able to use to do many of the things they're going to want to do. Additionally, our Dynasty faction, they're very power focused. They're very focused on different uses for their power that they generate from the power plants. One of the coolest things I think that the Dynasty can do is they can actually turn off a power plant, converting it from what we call production mode to distribution mode. And in distribution mode, the power plant will actually speed up the production and combat capabilities of nearby structures. And that lets the Dynasty, have kind of an oh crap button if they're attacked, or they can kind of go into hyper production mode. But they have to be able to afford the power hit to be able to do that. We've got some additional power related systems that will build on that later on. But we have these kind of layered on systems that we think make our game pretty unique. And I'm really excited to be able to show those off as they're kind of more ready for prime time over the next couple months.
What's your maybe favorite mechanic or mechanics that are in Tempest Rising?
We hinted at one of them at Gamescom with our Riot Medic. We have a system in both single player and multiplayer called Specialists. In single player, Specialists are individual named characters that you perform missions for and you gain access to. You can basically pick which of the specialists you want to recruit and have on your side throughout the course of the game. And in multiplayer, we didn't want these really cool characters to not be present, so they are present in multiplayer as well, but in a different way. So in single player, it's something you recruit between missions and that you have to earn their trust before you're able to use them in combat.
Sage machine. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Race. Roll out. Ready. Spinning her up. Operator. I'm listening.
How long has the game been in development for?
So the game has been in development for 3 years. I was brought on in early 2020. So I've been involved for about 2. I was involved right at the end of us pitching our vertical slice, and here I've been ever since. But yeah, since about 2019.
Unit ready. No problem. Got it. Surveying. Spinning her up. No problem.
Are there any unique units that will blow players away? If we're thinking about Command & Conquer, I always remember maybe the Tester Troopers from Red Alert 2, which I thought were really cool. or like the Yuri unit, which could brainwash units, things like that. So they always stand out to me as like really cool and impressive units. What does Tempest Rising have on offer?
The GDF have a unit called the Scrambler. It's a late tier harassment unit. It's tier 3. It's you get it pretty late on in the game, but it has the ability to become invisible when it's not attacking, and it fires very long range missiles at air and ground targets. So it's this phenomenal ambush. It's fast, it's long ranged, and it can become invisible. They're very annoying to deal with. Our playtesters love messing with people with the Scrambler. It's made of glass, it's made of paper, but it's very annoying to deal with.
Receiving. On your command.
Unit ready.
Artillery standing by.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Training.
Acknowledged, command.
In terms of like the effort going in towards the campaign and the multiplayer, is it evenly distributed amongst the dev team, or is it you guys are like, okay, we want to really push out the campaign, make sure that's polished and done, or you also have a dedicated side that's like, yo, we want to have a really good multiplayer and have it competitive so that we can build off of that? What's the kind of feeling in the dev team for that?
That's a good question. I think at this point, just because it's a lot more effort intensive, it's a lot more manpower intensive, we're putting a big focus on the quality of the single player campaign. We've got cutscenes before and after each mission. We've got the command compound where you're talking to characters face to face. That's a lot of dev effort. A lot of work from a lot of people goes into making that look and work the way that it does. But multiplayer absolutely is very important to us as well. Just at this phase right now, a lot of our effort is focused specifically on polish and quality for single player.
Get to work.